Since 1947, the World Affairs Council has become the preeminent global stage for world leaders and the public to inform, engage, and debate the most important issues of our time. It's your world. Get to know it.
What I'd like to do in our time this evening is to talk a bit about the book that we've just published on American negotiating behavior, but to relate it to some of the challenges that we now face as a country in adapting our foreign policy to what is a very new era in international affairs. And I'll talk a little bit about some of the changes that we're all confronted with. And then I'd also like to talk a bit about this institution that I've had the privilege of running since 1993, the U.S. Institute of Peace. It's a creation of Congress. Our annual program budget comes from a congressional appropriation, and we have a very broad charter of trying to deal with the world without always having to lead with our military capabilities. And what has happened, as I'll describe a bit in my remarks, is talk about the Institute as a change agent as our country struggles to deal with a very different era in international affairs. One of the major security problems that we face is trying to deal with nuclear proliferation. It is a problem out of control, and as former Secretary of Defense William Perry, a good colleague who many of us work with, points out, if we can't get this issue under control, there are weapons of mass destruction lurking in this proliferation problem that will be a major security issue for everyone. The ideological rivalries that we lived with during the Cold War era have been replaced by religious extremism and ethnic conflicts, as we've seen them particularly in Iraq, Afghanistan. It's much of the driver in what the Iranians are up to. And again, we're struggling to figure out how we deal with these new challenges. So we're in a period where we find the agencies of the U.S. government struggling to adapt to this changed international environment. The most adaptive of all the agencies has been our military. And particularly as we saw in response to the 9/11 attacks, the military has been the preferred agency of our national security constellation of organizations to deal with this changed world. And it's dealing with a situation that is increasingly raising concerns about what is referred to in many quarters as the militarization of U.S. foreign policy. And today we have the truly remarkable circumstance of a Secretary of Defense expressing deep concern about the degree to which the military is called upon to assume tasks that are really civilian in character.